Chicago has the most movable bridges of any city in the United States. And every year from late April to early November, these bridges are raised for sailboats to travel down the river and into Lake Michigan for the beautiful Chicago summer. We call this phenomenon the dancing of the bridges.
Yeah, today I'm working in about 10 minutes.
Yep. And I'm here because of the dancing of the bridges. So I'm going to head down. It started around 8 o'clock. So it'll take a while to come down to this end of the river. So I think I'm going to head down the Riverwalk toward the west end and see how many bridges I can watch for a little bit. Okay, I found a nice sunny spot. I think this will do. I'm a little surprised that they aren't already at this point. Feels like they should be by now. So it is a little chilly this morning. It's about like a bit, I think it's right about 50 degrees now. So sitting in the sun feels nice because, and there's clouds, like you can see kind of clouds coming over. So it's not like, constant sun, but it's nice just to kind of warm you up a wee bit. Anyway, I think this will be a nice vantage point, and it's a little warmer and out of the wind, which is good since we're gonna sit here for a little bit. So this year is, or this weekend, is supposed to be one of the biggest ones of the year. So I think there's about 13 boats expected today, which is one of the larger groups coming through. So that was why it was an exciting one to catch. So I'm so glad that we were able to catch it today. All right. First one, this is Franklin. The bridge located on the farthest west end of the main branch of the Chicago River is the Franklin Street Bridge, which opened in October of 1920. By the time the boats reach the Franklin Street Bridge, they've already passed through at least 5 other bridges along the south branch of the river. So they'll all make their way under this bridge, Franklin, the one that is up right now. And then they'll kind of all sort of come to a stop and a waiting because the next one to come up will be Wells. And this one is cool because this is a double-decker bridge because the lower portion is a street and the upper portion is for the train. Gertie just chilling out, watching the sailboats. What do you think, Gert? All right, we got one boat over there. There's 3 more. And then 4 more there. And then we've got one kind of coming through here. That may be it. I thought they were expecting about 13, so maybe a couple more. Yep, it looks like that's it. They are lowering Franklin now. So Franklin is just about closed now, but they have not yet started the bells on Wells. So that one will still be a few minutes before it opens. Here comes waving everybody. Okay, I had to break my hat out. The wind is strong enough now that I'm actually getting cold. So I was glad I brought a hat. I wish I'd brought some gloves. Otherwise, I'm comfortable everywhere else. My hands are a little cold and my ears were getting cold. So I think they're wrapping up Franklin here now. It's all the way down. The guy's out securing the connection, and then I think they'll start the bells on Wells, and that will be next. A train just went by, probably the last one we'll see for a bit. That one tied off over there. And then a lot of the others are just kind of going back and forth sort of across. This is one of the first signs of summer, so it's pretty exciting. Just saw the boat, or the name on this boat here is Dark and Stormy. And I think that is a fabulous name for a boat, and also a boat that looks like that one. It's beautiful. Okay, Wells has started ringing, so it should be raising soon. So by the time Wells was closed, they were already opening LaSalle. So it's happening a little bit faster now. So I'm going to kind of bounce ahead. I think Wells just takes a while because it has to stop the train. So that's why we had such a delay. Okay, so I made my way between Dearborn and Clark Street, and I'm at Tiny Tap. The coffee shop is open. So I got myself a latte, warmed me up, and behind me is a heater. So this is a really good spot, so we may stay here for both of these bridges. got my latte, and Clark Street Bridge is ringing now, so it should be opening very soon. I've made my way down to City Winery, so I'm in the next step. They're closing Dearborn now, which is over to my left. State will be next, but they're not even ringing it yet, so it may be a minute. I might make my way down a little bit further, but I wanted to pause for just a minute and probably finish my drink. It helped a lot to warm me up for sure. State Street is ringing and should be opening here in just a minute. I moved just a wee bit so I can get a slightly better view. What do you think, Gert? Has this been a weird day? You've been really good. Here goes State Street. The Chicago River boasts 32 movable bridges still in operation today. 18 of them are known as the Chicago-style double-leaf trunnion-bascule bridge, all spanning along 2 miles, 9 of which are on the main branch of the Chicago River. It isn't documented how many sailboats make the journey out to Lake Michigan each year during the approximately 40 times the bridges are raised throughout the season. But I think it's safe to say it's a lot of boats that make this journey out and back every year. Here it is from the other side. Boats still coming through. And a couple of them are just kind of tied off here to the side. Okay, I decided to skip Wabash because there wasn't really a good spot to sit out of the wind. But I do think it'd be cool to see Michigan. So this may be the last one I sit through, but I'm gonna wait here and see if it's too long of a wait, hopefully it won't be, and see Michigan. Because Michigan is another double-decker. And this one I'm kind of tucked away, a little out of the wind, and hopefully it stays that way. All right, you can see I'm at Michigan here. Lots of people still walking across. I'm not even sure Wabash is opened yet, so it may be another 15 or so minutes. Obviously the Wrigley building behind, Tribune building over there, the Apple store. Not a bad view for this one. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a sailboat on the other side of Michigan. So Michigan is the next bridge to open. I did skip Wabash, so I wasn't sure if it had opened and closed yet, but it looks like it has, so shouldn't be too long now. The bells just started on Michigan, so they'll be clearing out the traffic. It takes, usually when they start the bells, it takes it like a few minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. The Michigan Avenue Bridge House is open to the public as the Bridge House Museum, offering visitors a chance to observe the bridge's operations up close. The museum also has a bounty of information about the Chicago River and its famous bridges. The bridge span over the river is balanced by a concrete and steel counterweight. The bridge and counterweight balance on a trunnion, which is the point on which the bridge pivots. Because the bridge is in almost perfect balance with its counterweight, it takes a surprisingly small motor to lift it. Making my way back to Urban Kayaks. I'm underneath Columbus, which is the next bridge after Michigan. So the last 2 bridges are Columbus and then Lakeshore. Urban Kayaks is between those 2 bridges. So I'm gonna make my way back there, meet up with Chris, and then probably head back home. But I did just see the Centennial Fountain shooting off because it shoots this like giant stream all the way across the river. It's really cool, but I missed it. It was turning off just as I got close enough to try to get some footage of it. I may have some B-roll from last year I can put in to show you what it looks like. But it is cool to see the fountains on. It feels like summer activity-wise, but it doesn't feel like summer temperature-wise. Definitely not. So that is Columbus there. The bells just started ringing, so it'll be raising here in a few minutes. But you can see there's quite a long stretch between Columbus and Lakeshore. It's one of the longer stretches between bridges, significantly longer than the other passes they've been making. So that's Lakeshore there, and then they're out to the lock and then the lake. All right, and there goes Columbus. It looks like this one they are gonna raise both sides. All right, you can see Centennial Fountain on, and here come the boats. All right, I'm at Urban Kayaks. We've had to wait quite a while for Lakeshore to open, but it is finally, the bells are ringing, so it should be opening here in just a few minutes. And Lakeshore is another one they will just open the one side. It's taken a while though. The final bridge before the sailboats make their way to Lake Michigan is the Lakeshore Bridge, designed by Joseph Strauss, who also designed the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Built in 1937, the Lakeshore Bridge is one of the 3 Chicago-style double-leaf trunnion bascule bridges on the main branch that is also double-decker. This year was my first time watching the Dancing of the Bridges for the entire length of the main branch of the river, and it was a really cool experience. I'm Whitney from Chris and Whitney in the Windy City. We share our lives living in downtown Chicago here on YouTube, and we share videos like this one to help people who want to learn more about this amazing city. If you're interested in moving to or visiting Chicago, be sure to subscribe and follow along.